Good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Talk with Rod. And today we will be going over the Texas versus Ohio State game, the Cotton Bowl college football playoff. I first want to start off with saying congratulations to the Longhorns on the season. And also, as a Texas fan and as a big critic of them last week, saying that they should be embarrassed by allowing the Arizona State game to be that close, I want to say I am proud the way that they played against Ohio State. Even though they didn't play to their full potential still, they still were close to the top of that. And despite the score, the game was way closer. So, before the game, I said that Texas would, I didn't think they had a chance. And for them to even have a chance, they would need probably around 175 yards rushing, and to hold Ohio State under probably like 150 yards rushing. So, which one of two of those things happened. They was able to hold Ohio State under a total of 80 yards rushing, which is great. So, which I did not think that was going to happen. Even though Texas does have a top defense, especially run defense, I didn't think they would do that well. And even if they did, I thought the passing game probably would have had to open up because how much they would have to um, exert and to try to stop the running game. But they still held. And I knew the game wasn't going to be a complete blowout. I thought at most it could be 2 scores, 3 at most, 17, I said. But I knew it wasn't going to be like how Oregon got did by them or whatever, because Oregon was some fool thinking they can run 0 man with Jeremiah Smith on the other side playing for Ohio State. Like, that's crazy. So that game was over first quarter because of that. Me being a Texas fan and also a big football buff, I watch Texas play, and I know that they usually keep their safeties over the top, and they also have good corners, and they have a good D line, so they won't give Howard enough time to actually even throw. So with that being said, they was also able to hold Jeremiah Smith to 1 catch. That is crazy. He had 1 catch for 3 yards. Their leading receiver was Carnell Tate. He had 7 catches for 87 yards. So if he's getting off, we'll take that. And the player with the most seniority, Egbuka, he only had 5 catches for 50 yards. So Texas did a hell of a job on defense. Offensive side of the ball, which usually it was our downfall this year. Wisner, 17 carries, 46 yards. Kind of saw that coming. We needed a big game from him. Blue, 4 catches, 16 yards. That didn't help much. But he did have 5 catches for 60 yards receiving. Golden, we needed him to have a big game. He only had 2 catches, 50 yards. He had a brief injury. He missed a little bit of the game, but I think that didn't make too much of a difference. Late in the third quarter, the running game actually started to get it going with Wisner. During the game, I was thinking they probably should have ran it a little bit more in the fourth quarter, but when I did see Ewers get the ball in his hands to drive him down, he was doing a good job. So I have no complaints with Ewers this game because he took care of the ball for the most part, even though he had 1 pick. I think, and I thought this play lost in the game, but it actually ended up being the coach's decision, the Texas last possession, that ended up actually losing the game for them. So right before halftime, Texas got a score by, I think it was Blue. He scored a receiving touchdown, which tied the game up 7-7. I was at the game, right? So I think that was like 20 seconds before halftime. I'm chilling, and by the time, I'm in the concourse walking around, and by the time I get to see the field level again, I see people yelling and stuff. I'm like, what's going on that quick? I see Henderson running down the sideline. I'm like, oh, he ran the kickback. Come to find out, they did a screenplay. Nobody around him but his blockers. He took it 75 yards. I said, that's going to lose him the game right there. Because it was close the whole time. It was 7-0 before that. Anyway, Texas kept fighting. Holding Ohio State to, no scoring and things like that. I'm like, Texas is actually in the mix. They could win this game. I'm surprised, right? So, game goes on. I want to say it was the beginning of the fourth quarter. Ohio State had the ball. It was a 4th and 1 or 2. And then, exactly, he did. And it was a 4th and 2. They did a good job of holding Howard to no rushes the majority of the game. He only had 7 carries for 4 yards. But in college, the sack yards work against him as well, too. So he did have a little bit more yards than that. It was a 4th and 2. They ran it with Howard, ran up the middle, broke to the outside, and he tripped or whatever, or he would have scored. Still kind of wouldn't have made a difference or whatever because Texas still had plenty of time to get the ball back. Texas get the ball back. I want to say it was probably, about 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Ewers walking them down. He hits one of the first big plays was, I want to say it was a crossing route to Gunningham. He caught it, ran a little bit more, stiff arm, DB out of bounds, pointed at him, which he doesn't do. But, he hype or whatever, I understand, even though it's still not right. He gets a taunting penalty, which could have been detrimental, but it wasn't. So, after that, Matthew Golden, he makes a big play, another crossing route. So, we looking good. I'm like, okay, Ewers, he doing it. We get like 2 pass interference plays or whatever. So now we at the, and when I say we, Texas fans, we at the 1 yard line. So we try to run it with number 9, our running back Gibson. He gets stuffed, which is okay because we got plenty of time. We still got like 3 minutes on the clock. So the next play, we did I forgot. I'm not too sure. I might be skipping a play, but we're at the half-yard line. I'm thinking we're going to do a QB sneak, or if we ran the ball north and south for 4 plays in a row, if we got stopped 4 plays in a row, I would have been completely okay with that. I mean, 4 plays in a row at the half-yard line. If y'all stop us, y'all deserve to win. They do a toss play to the outside to Wisner. He gets tackled for like a 4 or 5 yard loss. I had 2 thoughts about this play. First thought was, damn, they about to lose the game. Second thought was, I had Wisner under for my rushing yards on my parlay. He's the last one I was waiting on. He was under 64 yards. And this is getting to my pick 'em with Rod section. So, they kind of cross. So, I'm like, okay, if they don't go into overtime, my parlay will hit. My parlay was for $570. So, I'm kind of torn, right? But when I do my picks, I'm not biased. I don't bet with emotion. So, I'm like, okay. So now we on a 4th down now. The ball is in Ewers' hands. I'm already thinking that Sark lost us the game because that call was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So Ewers drives back. We at the 5. Everything is about up. Because like I said in my pregame analysis, Ohio State DBs are outstanding. Their D-line is great as well. And of course, who do you see coming around the edge? You see Jack Sawyer, which ironic enough, if you didn't know, Ewers started off at Ohio State. He didn't play. And his roommate was Jack Sawyer. Sawyer came around the edge, stripped the ball out, and as if it couldn't get worse, picks it up, takes it down the sideline, game over. So, as I stated again, Ewers, he did enough to win the game. Can't put it on him. Sarkisian, I've also had him under the microscope the last few games for bad calls. And that bad call, I'm not going to say it cost them a trip to the championship, but it did cost them a trip to go into overtime for a chance to go to the championship. So, like I said, but congratulations to Ohio State. They are a good team. Congratulations to the Longhorns. Something great to build on. I don't know what the future is going to be for them. Ewers has been getting a lot of offers. I kind of see why, but then I don't think the offers should be as good because if you actually look at his film, he's not as great as his win column indicates. So, later, I will be putting up some more picks from Picking with Rod, and y'all stay tuned. I'll be doing post games for the playoff games that's coming up. Right now, it's currently the Broncos and the Bills. I have the Bills to win, and then after it's the Buccaneers and the Commanders. I got the Bucs to win, but it's gonna be a very close game. For the Commanders to win, their defense is gonna have to play great, and Jay Daniels is gonna have to probably have like 350, 400 total yards. Then the late game is the Packers and the Eagles. I have the Eagles to win, but Jalen Hurts has to take care of the ball, and A.J. Brown, I think he has to go over maybe 115 yards receiving, get a touchdown or two, and then I think they'll be able to handle that. But yeah, this has been this edition with Sports Talk with Rod. I'll get y'all next time.